Hoosier Nation, what's up? Jeff and Ben here, winning edition. Indiana beats Washington 78-62 to move to 18-11 on the year, 9-9 in the Big Ten Conference. They're in the top half, Ben. They're staying in that top half of the league, 9-9. They're headed to Washington at 9 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday night. Really, this was a game that Indiana controlled pretty much from start to finish. Ben, your initial thoughts coming in?
I feel like we're teetering right on that 20-12, like we said we thought we would. Malik Reneau had a great game. I think he didn't miss a shot for, what did I text you, like 2.5 games or something? Yeah, it was wild. But he had a great game. Goode made some threes. Ballo only got 15 minutes. I don't know what I think about that.
Well, a couple things you said there. Reneau, number one, glad he's back, healthy. And I think, we learned that he had to make a trip to the emergency room. Sounds like maybe a food poisoning situation. They got him some fluids, got him an IV, but whatever they did at the hospital, like, let's keep it up. We won them against Oregon, and we didn't get a chance to go live last night after the game. Unfortunately, I had a little too much fun probably, so I could have been a rocky podcast if I'd have done it last night. So we're here tonight, and a lot's played out since then, right? Indiana, we had Michigan State, Wisconsin played today. Michigan State beats Wisconsin. Michigan gets beat by 20 by Illinois. So it's really looking like if Indiana can win one of the last two, they're probably in that 8-9 game in the Big Ten tournament. And then the second thing you said is 20-12. If this team's 20-12, if we get to that point, we're in. I think we're in. That's 2 more wins, which would at least be quad 1, quad 2 variety. And the losses can only be, like, there's no room really now for a bad loss. So I think you kind of said it all right there. You mentioned Ballo got the start right over Reneau, and I think, like, maybe this is the way they're going to go down the stretch. But I think Woodson's finally agreed to, on his way out the door, of the one big at a time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think until we have, like, true proven. I mean, we are shooting the 3-ball better the last couple games, but until we have, like, true spreaders of the floor, we can't really have 2 bigs, and they just take up too much room, and it's too hard to operate. And the ball gets kind of stagnant. In years past, we were really good, especially with Race Thompson and Trace Jackson Davis, of big men pick and roll, a pass up top, but their passing skills aren't as good as those guys' passing skills.
You got more room, right? I mean, there's no, it's not rocket science that Reneau's playing better in a one big system where he can operate. He's not got, a big coming over, and if he's doubling, he's seeing it much sooner, and he's kicking to the shooters and shooters, I guess. Really, the shooting has to, we have to have Mbako and Goode hitting threes for this team to reach its full potential, right? And they had 7 last night. Galloway 0 for 5 from 3, but 7 assists, 1 turnover from Trey. That's really what I care about for him. If he's got, Leal and Galloway had 11 assists. That dog will hunt. I know they had 8 points combined, but if they've got 11 assists, that means they're getting the ball where it needs to go.
Well,
Reneau, Goode, Mbako, and Ballo.
I think where we disagree a little bit is Leal. Like, I see Leal. He plays good defense. He gives it his all. He makes winning plays, right? He does do those things. But when we play good teams, we can't have a guy play 34 minutes and put up a goose egg. Like, it's too many minutes and not enough production to win versus Oregon, probably not even versus Ohio State or in the tournament, in my eyes. So I would like to, I just need him to do, he needs to get at least 6 points.
Yeah. I think this is we were chatting about this earlier. Like, I don't have a problem with Anthony Leal having 4 assists, 3 steals, 4 rebounds, no turnovers in 34 minutes.
And 2 blocks.
And so, I mean, a hell of a floor game, really.
Yeah.
And he only took 1 shot. I do say that, he has to be a little bit more of a threat, right? So those 12 shots that Galloway took, maybe a few of those could be Leal to keep the defense honest.
Yeah.
But I do. What's up, Ham? Ham's in the chat.
What's up,
says,
Ham?
"What's up, fellas?" Yeah. So we got Ham in the chat here. And so what's up? Lauren Ham, hyper legend there. For those of you IU folks, as a hyper legend, court 1. I think he's got a couple championships. Ham says close out 3-1 and win next Thursday. We're in. So I think Ham's probably saying we'll go 3-1 down the stretch total of these last couple games. So we're 2-0 in those last ones, right? So we got to split. I mean, if you lose at Oregon, it's not going to kill you. Like Oregon's clearly that's a quad 1 game all the way, and then Ohio State. But going back to Leal, I mean, the defense is. I mean, he's guarding the best player every night, or the best guard.
Yeah,
I think that takes a lot, and I mean, I think we're being greedy. But if Leal could have 5-6 points, like you said, hit a 3. Right? Gets the free throw line. Like, that's what we need from him and do those other things.
I'm just saying, in big games, where have you ever seen a backcourt score 8 points and the team wins? Not very many.
You probably won't see it on Tuesday night. We're going to have to. Now, the one thing about that, though, is, Rice comes off the bench 25 minutes, has 10.
10. Yeah.
I am a little concerned about his free throw shooting, though. He's missing a lot.
What happened?
I mean, he missed, like, I don't know, but he was 0 for 1. It was a bit, it was later in the game. Oh man, I don't think this game was ever in doubt. But then that's on the backs of the Penn State game where he was missing them too. He missed them at Michigan State, so a little bit nervous there. If Galloway, Leal, and Rice are your 3. I mean, Luke Goody's 95%. Mbako is like 80. I mean, we got good free throw shooters percentage wise. Let's step up and knock them down. Yeah. Ham says guard's going to have to hoop on Tuesday. Show up and show out. Yeah. For sure. I mean, I think if you can get out of Leal, Galloway, and Rice, if you can have 25. They had 18 last night. 25 out of that group.
30. 25, 30, yeah.
I mean, 30's pushing it. It's possible, right? And
I mean, it is 3 guys.
I know.
We could almost throw in Carlisle in there to get us 30.
Oh, no. 17 minutes is way too much for him. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I still think we were sold a bag of rice on Rice and Carlisle, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, I mean, Rice is leaps and bounds better than Carlisle.
Yeah.
And Rice hasn't been good. So
have you checked out this show on Netflix called Running the Point?
No.
It's actually pretty good. It's a show on Netflix. It's really about the Lakers, but they call it the Waves. But anyway, this guy's got the yips at the free throw line, and they hire a lady from Asia to come over, and she gets to do granny shots that he never misses again. Is
this like a real show, or is this like a fake TV show? Like, is this real life, or is it just like a script?
No, it's a script. It's got Kate Hudson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was just saying, Miles Rice has
something.
The yips. Yeah.
Yeah, he does have the yips. Ballo, 15 minutes. I mean, honestly, with Mike Woodson, man, he should just coach like this the whole damn time.
I think he was too afraid about people transferring. He's afraid about next year, people leaving. But I mean,
that's what got you into trouble, though. Like, now he's like, I don't give a damn. If you're going to be like, if you want to sit there and pout Bryson Tucker, I'm just not going to play you. I don't care. Right? Like, he wants to win, and he should have coached us. And who's to know, right? We don't know exactly with Woodson. What's up, Ryan? Welcome to the chat here. Yeah, I mean, Ham says he would still have a job. And I mean, maybe, we don't know, right? Like, we could find out after all this is done that the pressure got to Woodson, or God forbid, hopefully nothing with like health or anything like that. But, the way it's been spun is, hey, he's retiring. But yeah, if Indiana's 23-8 this year, Does Woodson step away? I don't know.
Mhm.
But it doesn't matter. The ink's dry. He's resigning, and hey, let's go win every game left. Like that's the mentality. I was reading some quotes from Ballo, and he said the fans deserve it. I want to ask you, do you think that these guys, they live in Bloomington, right? So they get to actually see like real, legit Indiana fans, not the dregs of Twitter
Do
society.
players even live in Bloomington anymore? Because
Yes, they live right there across from the football stadium.
Yeah, but you hear stories about how like some superstar athletes just do online classes now.
Well, I mean, they're in Bloomington.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they're in Bloomington. They're at practice. Yes, they're there. We know Ballo's there. He was upstairs, which caused all the problems. So we know he's there. But yeah, I mean, do you think that we see so much vitriol, so much hate spewed on Twitter and social media towards these players, but that's really like the 2% of the fan base, right?
Listen,
like that's not real life.
well, listen, my nickname is playing since '82. I'm a known hater, but I don't get in players' inboxes or call them,
Right.
text them. I'm not gonna do. I might argue with some 75-year-old guy on the Facebook chat, but I'm not gonna.
He's coming for your Leal comments from last year. He's bringing receipts after that performance.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like, I think if you rewind the tape on this show back to November when we were struggling with the guards, I said it wouldn't, why not give Anthony Leal a shot? And Woodson really has never. He said in the press conference the last time, he said, I just wasn't playing him. Like, it wasn't like, to your point, like maybe he got to the point, he's like, I don't care how much we paid Carlisle and Rice and Mbako. If they're not playing well, I'm not playing them. So, I mean, kudos to Anthony Leal. Like these guys right now, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 seniors, most likely. I mean, Goode could come back one more year, but let's say this is their last ride. Right? They're playing like it. And we'll see what happens at Oregon Tuesday. That's a tough environment, tough place to play. They just beat USC by 21. They went to Wisconsin and won. Like they're playing well. But Ohio State at home,
gotta win that.
I mean, that's a whoever wins that game is likely in the tournament. Whoever loses is probably out.
Got to guard Bruce Thornton. Guy's a player. He can't shoot well from 3, but he can score.
Well, you know who's going to be guarding him.
Yeah. No, I don't hate on his like he plays good defense. He's a try-hard player, but we still got to get some points for some guards in order to beat decent teams.
But if you're not going to score, you got to make sure their players don't score.
Yeah,
like if you're going to be a defender, like
I did tell you.
Hey,
Washington does.
We got to put this one on the screen for you here so you can see. Ham says, y'all ain't got to justify yourselves. The effort is picked up recently. That's the difference. Woody played the paid dudes. They weren't ready. We now are in a little flow. Tuesday's large. OSU is large. Totally agree with all that. Yeah, I mean, he's coaching. He's coaching like a coach of like, I'm going to play the players that play hard and want to win. And if you're not going to play hard, if you're going to talk back, you're going to, there's a reason Bryson Tucker's not getting in the game. Because, I mean, something is not right there. And, I mean, he's obviously gone. But let's talk about this for a second on the tournament. So
I still got faith in Bryce Tucker. I'd like to see him.
I think he's probably gone. Yeah. Portal. But whatever, maybe not, right? New coach, who knows? But so I was looking at like projections and things because we've been talking about a path here, and you've rolled your eyes at me, and that path is clear. It is clear. If you win Tuesday night and you win Saturday, you're in. You're in because even if you lose to Oregon in the first round of the Big Ten tournament or Illinois, whoever it is that you play.
I don't want to know.
That's not. I mean, I'm just saying that's not going to be a bad loss. Like you're going to, if you lose something, because right at this point, it's not. If this Indiana team from this year makes the tournament, it's a damn miracle from where they were. Let's be honest. That's a long way from Illinois. Now, they could shit the bed the last 2 games against Oregon and Ohio State, and really we need a couple wins in Indy to justify it. Really would serve them well to win both. 1-1, I think you would need to win that first game in Indy to feel comfortable. So a lot of work to do, but you're probably going to be playing Oregon twice out of the next 3 games, right?
And I mean, Oregon's not. I mean, they're decent. They got a good point guard. They got the guy that looks like he's 45 years old.
They're a 5 seed on bracket, 5, 6 seed. They're a top.
Then they got a great coach. I always like that coach. Like
Altman's a good coach. Yeah, right now, Jerry Palm for CBS is the one I'm just looking at. Michigan State's a 2, Wisconsin's a 2, Michigan's a 3. I don't know. I'll tell you this. Michigan, I think they're fool's gold all year long. All year long. They've won close games, had a bounce here or there, and then today got their doors blown off by Illinois. Now, is Illinois they got Illinois was projected as an 8. If I'm a 1 seed, I do not want to see Illinois in the second round. The way they played today at Michigan, they beat the dog shit out of Michigan.
Yeah,
today.
but Duke beat Illinois by 40.
I know. I'm just telling you, though, what I saw today looked like the Illinois team from earlier in the year. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they needed, was to get beat by 40 by Duke.
Yeah.
If they play Duke again, it ain't going to be a 40-point game. I promise you that.
I
wouldn't want to see a team I just beat by 40 in the second round. I wouldn't. Yeah. Just, we'll see. Yeah. I think there's Auburn, Duke, Houston, and Tennessee. Is that probably the 1 seeds? They beat Alabama yesterday. Is that the 1 seeds? Am I forgetting somebody?
I think Tennessee, Alabama, whoever wins SEC tournament, they could flop around a little bit.
Yeah. Auburn's the number 1 overall. Duke's number 2 overall, and after that, probably Houston, and then whatever. But right now, where I was going with this, Jerry Palm, I do
want to mention one thing.
Yeah,
I did mention the fact why I didn't think Michigan was that good. It's because their guard plays terrible. They got 2 bigs, and they only have that one guard, Donaldson, and the rest of the guards stink.
Well, now that Dusty May's not coming, we can throw his ass under the bus. So it's all him. It's on him. So we'll just go ahead and do that. So, but yeah, Indiana, Palm had him as a 10 today. So that's not even the last 4 in. Uh-huh. That's solidly in. So I've seen, today, Lenardi, and again, these are,
somebody had us last 4 in the second. Is that Lenardi?
Yeah. He had us as last 4 buys today. So that's solid. I wouldn't mind an Indiana, North Carolina first 4 matchup in Dayton. I wouldn't mind riding over there to watch Indiana, North Carolina. That'd be a hell of an environment for that. That's a great arena. But just win Tuesday. And Oregon, we're not really catching them at the right time. Like this, they're playing their best basketball right now. And we're going into a lion's den there. We're going into a hornet's nest, I think, in Eugene Tuesday night on the West. I'm just so glad they won this one. There wasn't the letdown with Washington. Because it was a 1.5 point spread.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking on Peacock.
I was like, yeah, this team is terrible. I can't bet down here, but that's one of the few games I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Because I've seen Washington play. They're not good.
But we beat them like a team that's not good. Yeah. Right. We took their best player, great Osibor, which I think wasn't he on. He transferred from somewhere that went in the tournament last year. I remember.
They've all transferred.
Yeah. Great Osibor was in the tournament last year for somebody I can't remember, but he didn't even score a field goal. Took him completely out of the game, 24 minutes. And so, can Indiana do that? If they beat Oregon, and Ham, he's in Atlanta. Yeah, apparently, Indiana you can bet, but Georgia you can't. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Indiana, they roll up the sidewalks at 6 p.m. You can't even buy liquor on past 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Not that I'm drinking tonight, but I couldn't even if I wanted to unless I went to an establishment. So, beside the point, Yeah. Hey, Langdon Hatton got in there for 9.6 seconds and got him a point. How about that?
Your boy. They won't put my boy Parker James in the game, though. Number 42, who I've been calling out all season, needs to get at least
It's
5
Dallas James. Dallas James.
Parker James sounds better.
All right. So Indiana's headed to Oregon Tuesday night. They're already on the West Coast. So I believe the travel plan was they stayed in Seattle last night, and then I saw pictures. Pretty nice looking. This will be a smooth segue here, but pretty nice looking sweatsuits that they've got. So check that on the Indiana Basketball Twitter page. But then also the uniforms last night. Out of nowhere, Indiana drops, Adidas drops. We've given them shit for years, and they dropped the best uniform that I've seen Indiana put on. I love the shorts.
I mean, I do like it, but I like the ones that were like all cream and then red, because I love the uniform last night, but it's not really our colors. I mean, we don't really have black.
Neither does Duke.
But yeah, I know.
Neither does Kentucky.
You know, the Eagles wear the Kelly green. That's not truly our colors. Like, you know.
Yeah. I really like the IU shorts. So Adidas, can you give us some Indiana basketball? Can you sell those shorts for us? Like,
or just send them us to them.
We'd love a couple pairs just to try them out. Be great.
We'll wear them on the podcast. We'll talk about how great they are.
I mean, but it's this script. So anybody that didn't see it or watch the game last night or see highlights, it is the Indiana script. I thought, Ham says it's the alternate during Black History Month that they did wear the Black Excellence jerseys, Ham, on the two, and then they punted the ones. That story just kind of went away, the Fear of God uniforms. But these ones, I'm really surprised that there was no leak, no nothing. Just Reneau's out there warming up in a pair of black shorts, and somebody's like, I think Indiana has new uniforms, and then it's out there. So what I will ask, I'm going to be selfish here. Can we get one? They need to wear them against Oregon because Oregon's going to bring heat with the uniforms. So I want them to wear the black uniform.
And it's Indiana, hard to see on Oregon's court for whatever reason. Like, I have trouble seeing because they got
they've tried it too. Yeah, they jumped the shark on their court.
Yeah,
but I want Indiana to wear those uniforms for the rest of the year. Just wear them the rest of the year. Or can I get a white version of it for the home game against Ohio State, national TV? Do we have a cream and crimson version of that uniform, the red script with the white jersey, potentially for those will look nice. So, but yeah, Adidas,
Adidas, you screwed us for 15 years.
Adidas, I will say this. You're 2 for 2 with the sweatsuits that the guys are wearing tonight. Check it out on the Twitter page. And then the uniforms from last night, they were awesome. So hopefully, I would assume we'll wear those again on Tuesday night. Please. I think let's go with that. We'll see. Wear them here. Wear them in Indy, at least. Something.
What time's the game Tuesday night? 9 o'clock on the clock?
9 o'clock Eastern on FS1. I checked that before we got on. So we'll stick with the theme. If that's late, that's gonna be late. But
11:30.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about going live or if we do that Wednesday. But if
we win, we'll go live.
There it is. There you heard it. If we win, be 11:20, 11:30, we'll go live. We'll do this. But yeah, absolutely, Adidas did that. So I do want to look at a couple of things more on the tournament, and then there's a couple. While I'm looking this up, like you saw some things on TikTok that you wanted to cover about Dan Hurley, something you saw, and just like we talk coaches in general. So I'm looking this up. Hit us with what you want to talk about there.
Okay, so I want to talk about fiery coaches because we're on a coaching search. We're looking for our next coach. Everyone's worried about people being assholes or whatever. But there's a little bit of a difference between being an asshole, being successful, and being, a good guy too. So Dan Hurley, they were playing Seton Hall the other night. There's like 30 seconds left. He tells his team to purposely get a turnover so they can put this guy in on senior night. where he can make this. And they even let him take a shot because I'm not sure if the kid was all there. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But anyway, he was like a walk-on. The team loved him. But Dan Hurley made that moment happen for him by, having the turnover. So my thing is, in our next coach, because Nick Sirianni, he does things that people don't like. Like he talks trash to fans. He does this and that. But the team loves him, I think. And I'd say probably the same thing for Hurley. So in our next coach, do we want like a guy that's fiery and might talk trash to people? Sometimes he acts like he's a 5-year-old kid, but he cares as much as we do. Or do we want a Mother Teresa type?
Well,
That's a great role model. Says all the right things, but he doesn't win.
Well, I think you got to it's a fine line because you could have a guy like a Sirianni or Dan Hurley that act like that, but they win. So that goes away. Dan Hurley doesn't win 2 national championships. That act can get tired really quickly. So I think you have to thread that needle. But, we could talk a little bit about, because Indiana's been playing so well, but I can't even think about the coaching search right now.
I know. I'm just saying from my perspective, because, as being an Eagle fan, I hear about how our coaches, considered maybe not the nicest guy, maybe this, maybe that. I don't know him personally, so I can't really judge him. But what I do see is the team really seems to like him. And, like when he's talking to the players, he's always friendly. They respect him. But one thing that's for certain is he cares more than anyone about them winning.
Yeah.
And that's
for sure.
That's what I'm saying is I think sometimes you got to be a little bit of a dick to be a great coach.
So chat says want W's, top of the league, tournament every year. That's all that matters. And, but I do think you can be a hard ass and your players love you. Like you could just, you can't go that next level like a Bob Knight did. Like his players loved him until videos came out of him choking players. Then you got to go, bro. You're out. So you can't get away with that stuff anymore.
But one coach I can't figure out if the players really love him is Bill Belichick, because Tom Brady.
It's pro though. That's pro sports.
But still, I'm talking about being a dick, considered a dick, and winning. That's kind of my perspective. Go ahead.
I think you can be that, but you better win. If you're going to be an asshole, you better win. That's all I say. So on the coaching search, I don't think there's really much to have out there right now. TJ Otzelberger from Iowa State continues to get some noise around his name. But, I think everybody that Indiana wants is going to be coaching up until, if it's somebody we want, I guess I'd ask you, how far do you want them to go in the tournament? Because the farther they go, the more it's going to be tough to recruit.
Well, the thing is you don't want like another school, like let's say Texas fires their coach. Like there's some coaches at some pretty big programs that could. I don't necessarily want to have to get, because I feel like kind of like we're either first in line or second in line right now, right?
We should be the top job available.
Yeah,
we should be.
Because there's already some jobs out there. Virginia, Miami. They said Miami's already got their coach, the guy from Miami. But what I'm saying is, let's say Texas and some other teams that are pretty good. I don't think North Carolina could fire their coach anymore because
he just got a 2-year extension, Hubert Davis. So he's not going anywhere.
So, but what I'm saying is, right now we're top pick of the litter. So I think we should make the move pretty soon after the guy we're going for. Like, there's no reason to bullshit and wait.
No.
Once our guy's gone, we need to
think about like this though. You're talking because what comes into play here is that the NIL legislation that goes into place. All the contracts that are agreed to prior to April 7th, they don't have to go through a clearinghouse. So if you want to get a key transfer and say, hey, I'm going to pay you $750K million to come play at Indiana, you want to get that in beforehand. But if you don't have if your coach that you're going to hire maybe is in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, Well, hell, the Sweet 16 is going to, like, the Elite Eight's not over until the 30th of March. So, like,
it seems like it goes.
What if I mean, here's the other thing. What hell happens if Indiana's in that? I mean, it'd be great, but then we got to hire a coach. We went to Sweet 16. Like, we don't have a lot of time. Like, that's the one thing that they. I mean, hey, at the end of the day,
but they've had 4 weeks. How many weeks? 3 or 4 weeks. Like,
nobody's interviewing for the job right now. They're just talking to the search firm.
Yeah, but they should have their top 3 by now in the pecking order of who they'd want in order, I would think. I mean, you've had time. It's not like you fired them. You know, you've had a lot of time to think about it. They should have their guy pretty much.
Who's your top 3 right now?
Well, Chris Beard's my number 1.
Chris Beard. I'm saying no. Not who you want. Who do you think the top 3 are right now? If you're Scott Dawson, you're the athletic director in Indiana.
I think probably the Drake guy, Ben McCollum. I think TJ, and I think probably maybe the Vanderbilt guy. I don't know.
What about Scott? I'm saying Scott Drew, TJ Otzelberger, and Ben McCollum. I'd say that's the top 3. Shout out to Josh joining us from Western New York. Gives us a who day. Josh, what's up? Thanks for joining. Yeah, I would say that's like the top 3. In my head, like you've got 2 established, and then one guy that's maybe off the radar, maybe more like a Kurt Signetti hire.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some statistics. We talked about the bubble a little bit before we get out of here. Is Indiana caught a lot of heat about the schedule, right? So they list these. So Delphi bracketology, I would recommend anybody that's follows the bubble. It's actually high school students, and it's a class. That's what they actually do. Is it's like a math class essentially too, and they do really well. Like they're always at top 10 rated and whatever they're in, but they have broken down like the team sheets. So Indiana's strength of schedule on the year is 34th. Shows you how quality the Big Ten is, because non-conference was 156, but the overall strength of schedule, which will be part of the team sheets. So they've got it broken down here. They've got 9 teams, and they've got San Diego State, West Virginia, Georgia, Baylor, VCU, Oklahoma, Indiana, Ohio State, Nebraska, Arkansas. It looks like a lot of average in those teams that I just named, right? You could put any of these teams in. But if you look at VCU, 29th in the net, 23-5, 145 overall strength of schedule, non-conference strength of schedule, 282. So that when because I saw their record, I'm like, how the hell? We're 156, man. We have a better non-conference schedule than Georgia, a better non-conference schedule than Nebraska and Arkansas. Teams we're going to be, maybe battling for position here. Ohio State, they've got strong numbers. I mean, they're 36 in the net, they're 16th strength of schedule, and they're 41 non-conference strength of schedule, but they've got 13 losses. You get to a certain point where number of losses matter. I don't think we've ever seen a team get in with 15. They've got they've got a de facto elimination game on this week as well. Ohio State and Nebraska play each other in Columbus. So really, we want Ohio State to win that, gets Nebraska out of there, and then we need to beat Ohio State. And then we have that 2 wins over them. Be real tough to put Ohio State in over Indiana like that. But again, that all comes, you go win at Oregon, all that stuff probably doesn't matter. That's your second best win of the year if you win that game at Oregon, with Purdue at home a third. So a lot of data. So where do we land on that? Our big board, you had I had Drew, Otzelberger, and McCollum. You had Otzelberger, McCollum, and
the guy from Vandy,
Byington.
Yeah.
Which he had, who did he beat this? He beat somebody this week.
Was it Tennessee?
No.
Oh,
they had a big. Oh, they beat Buzz. He beat Buzz. Well, I mean, literally, all these SEC coaches are like could be the next coach of IU. Josh is asking where we were last. We were at home last year for the tournament. We definitely did not make the tournament last year, but we're trying to make it this year. And then Josh, we need to get Woj from St. Bonaventure. I know you're a Bonnie. We need to get him come to Indiana to recruit for us, sell some of his cell phones. Like did you see that?
Yeah.
Woj he's selling like his merchandise and stuff to get players. Yeah. I mean, 20 wins. 20 wins gets it done. Indiana's 18 and 11. I think we need 2 more just to be safe.
2 more.
I would hate to be
2 more we can sleep at night.
Yeah. But I mean, if one of those wins though is on Tuesday, if you can win, Indiana can win Tuesday. They can. It's gonna be tough. They can.
Oregon's not.
They're playing very well though.
Yeah.
Like they're playing well at the right time. So but
they got a good point guard.
Yeah, we will be here per Ben. If we win Tuesday night live, unless I have the flu, which is highly possible, and seeing how I'm the only one in my house that hasn't had it yet, then you might have to have a guest host. So grab somebody from the chat, or maybe we can get Paul when he makes it back from the West Coast, potentially, since he supposedly went on the road trip with the Hoosiers. So with that, Ben, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, it feels good to be 3-game winning streak, right?
Hey, it feels good to actually for this stuff to matter. Because I was thinking I was like, if they lose this game in Washington, we got to do 2 more of these shows, at least 3, and then they win. So now the rest of the season matters, right? This season, Tuesday matters. If you lose, it sucks, but it's not over. Saturday matters, and then the Big Ten tournament absolutely matters. So, yeah. Oregon's got some studs on the team. So, can't get beat Thursday regardless. Ham says he's available to guest host, so we might be linking you up. He's also bald. So there we go.
We can only have bald people on the show.
Yeah, and Josh is bald too. So yeah, we'll get them all in here. All right, perfect. So all right, thanks everybody for hanging in there with us. At Hoosier Court Pod on all the social media platforms. Follow us. Listen on YouTube. The podcast form will be up tomorrow, probably middle of the day. And yes, bald is beautiful, Josh. I finally made the plunge just a few months ago. So everybody have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you hopefully Tuesday night late after Indiana beats Oregon. See ya.
Bye.